expressed in this program by the host or guests do not state or reflect those of the company, its management, sponsors, or any entities they represent.
Oh, it's lit. We prime time. Subscribe, like, and share. Give us your feedback. Yo, I'm Manny at the plate and Kobe off a steal. Gretzky for the goal and Brady at the wheel. I'm a game changer, the Osaka of the tennis. And breaking scoreboard, Simone of the Olympics. Defense and big business, the Mayweather who way better. From the greatness of Jim Brown, I've been down. Talking sports before I was off the porch. Screaming Bo knows while Jordan was playing horse. Late 80s getting torched by the drive and the shot. 2016 got a ring off the three in the block. They eased to forgot the cardiac kids. Price and Doherty, Bill in the Indian years. This who it is. Your host DeeTrynt, yo, that's a name banger. Come in the streets and talk sports with the game changer. Yo, your host DeeTrynt, that's a name banger. Come in the streets and talk sports with the game changer.
DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk, InDaStreetzSportz. Man, what's really good? You know what I'm saying? You know what it is. It's sports day. Okay? And NBA draft time. And it's just that time of the year. Saturday, so look, hold on, because I'm doing a little sharing and I'm trying to actually gather my thoughts because it's so many different things that was just so interesting about yesterday. Let's start in basketball, right? So the Lakers mollywop, and I mean they beat the dog shit out of Memphis. 125-85. Ain't that crazy? That is a butt whooping extraordinaire. Not that is a whooping. I can only think about when Dylan Brooks told LeBron, "I don't respect you unless you give me 40." So he gave you 20 and 20. And then after he gave you 20 and 20, he gave you a 40-point blowout. Is this Brian today? Oh, Brian with the tweet.
Yeah,
unlike you, little, I'm a grown ass man. Huge shoes to fill, grown ass pants. Probably hustle with your pops. Go ask your parents. It's apparent you're staring at a legend with your who put a few little in their place before, trying to eat without saying they grace before. Is that, I don't know, is that somebody's lyrics?
Oh, you already know Brown rapping somebody bars.
Who bars is those though? So if y'all know, let me know. You feel me? DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk, streaming on multiple media platforms. You know what I'm saying? Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. Follow us on IG. If you missed the live recordings, please catch it at. Hold on, right quick. Yeah, so my bad, y'all. I had to have those on right quick. So no, listen. They beat the dog out of them boys, okay? It's not really even fair how this situation went about. Um, it was so shout out to Slimmy, who was up talking with us yesterday. We was talking, talking sports, went for a couple hours. Make sure y'all catch that replay. But we was talking about the games yesterday, and he was saying how he had a little more faith in Memphis, and how he thought, the Kings would probably fall to the Warriors. I told him I thought the opposite. I thought if anybody would win, it would definitely be the Warrior. I mean, be the Lakers, just because you just not about to play Bron at home up 3-1 like that or 3-2. Like it ain't about to work like that. And he ends up, and that's how it went. Bron and them won by 40, and the Kings won by like 19 though, which was ugly because. And I'm gonna tell you, man, I don't like that Malik Monk said this on the strength that you just don't give a wounded animal a reason for redemption. Like that's just bad. You know what I'm saying? Even if they stay final last punch, you probably gonna end up getting a last punch. So Malik Monk says, man, look, they're a little tired. They're a little older. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to use that to our advantage. And hopefully, we can do it again on Sunday when they play. Now that's very interesting because, he got a point. Like that Warriors team is very much a lot older and very much, seasoned, to be nice. All right. But you never know. Like, no, for real. Like, you never know. Like, Curry come out and give him 40 and it's over with. You feel me? Clay come out and feel like he want to relive his glory days and he want to hit for 30 in the first quarter. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just don't give them motivation. Let them soak in their own guilt, in their own frustration. You know what I'm saying? But Malik Monk, one of them cats. So if it was like a Trey Lyles or somebody saying it would probably get way more overblown. But Malik Monk give you buckets. Starting on the bench, it don't matter. You put Malik Monk in the game, he giving you buckets. He's shooting, he dunking, he laying up, he taking off the dribble, he can create off the dribble. Like, it's real. But yeah, there was a viral exchange between Malik Monk and Jordan Poole before the game. Malik Monk is outplaying Jordan Poole up to this point in the series. He's outplaying him. So hopefully, Sunday. I think the NBA would just love to have a Final Four where it's Jokic and KD and Chris Paul and Booker and the Warriors and the Lakers. I mean, don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? Mike Brown versus LeBron to go to the finals is fire. I'm not gonna hold you. Like or to go to because these the semis. To go to the conference, that'll be fire. That'll be raw. Because everybody want to see LeBron and AD versus KD, Chris Paul, and Booker for the Western Conference. Now, is it a possibility you could get a Kings team? Because it's true. That Kings team could probably try to outrun Brown and them team. But to be honest, the only old people on the Lakers is LeBron and AD, for real. Like, D'Angelo Russell can run. Okay, I might give you Schroeder, but Reeves can run. Malik Beasley can run. Jared Vanderbilt can run. Rui Hachimura can run. Lonnie Walker Jr. can run. So the same thing that they pulling off on the Warriors, they're not going to pull that off on the Lakers. But seeing LeBron whoop the Warriors one more time in the West just puts a ending to all this disrespect they put on Brown's name. And I listen, I got much love for Mike Brown. I would love to see Mike Brown go on and them have that series, but I ain't gonna even lie, Mike Brown. Y'all got next year. I like we need to see Brown whoop the Warriors this year. I need a 4-1 type shit. You feel me? AD come out and act the animal. D'Angelo Russell hitting, Malik Beasley finding his stroke, Reeves doing his thing. You know, so that's what I just want to see. Just because and I say I ain't the biggest LeBron fan. I'm really not a fan per se, but I do got a lot of love for him. You know what I'm saying? I do want to see homie shine, and I'm really tired. You know what I'm saying, of people putting disrespect on that man's name, man. That man been the epitome of a superstar that you could ever get. Like, you know what I'm saying? The little stuff that people be trying to say about LeBron is nitpicking. It's literal nitpicking. Nobody's perfect, bro. But he done everything in this league and for this league, on and off the court. You know what I'm saying? Aspiration wise and inspiration wise. Like, man, stop disrespecting that man. So yeah, I'm trying to see Bron go to the finals, homie. I ain't gonna even hold you. I'm trying to see him whoop all in and go to the finals. You feel me? And I ain't gonna even lie. I like to see, I ain't gonna hold y'all. Bron in LA versus Boston for the finals is fire. But Bron versus Philly is really what I want to see. Bron versus Embiid in the finals, AD versus Embiid, Harden versus Bron. I'm trying to see that. I'm not gonna hold you. If I gotta pick the finals, that's the finals I want to see. You know what I'm saying? Could Miami go and it could be a repeat of the bubble? That'll be raw too. Because if you get a repeat of the bubble finals, then everybody can stop trying to put asterisks on them winning the bubble finals. They can stop putting asterisks on what Miami did to get to the finals. You know what I'm saying? Like, start putting some respect. And it be these media people, bro. They be out of pocket for real. But that's a whole other conversation. But I really this is gonna be interesting. Today, I think it starts at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 7 o'clock if you're on the West Coast. Game 1, Nuggets Suns. Nuggets got the home court advantage. The first two is in Denver. We gonna see if Phoenix can rise to the occasion. Now, I personally think out of all the series that's been in the playoffs so far, I really believe this Phoenix Denver series could and should go 7. And outside of what's gonna happen in the conference and the finals, this is probably going to be the best series so far. Booker and dang on Booker and KD. Oh yeah, they about to go bananas. Okay, they about to go bananas. On top of that though, Jokic and Jamal Murray. You know, my X factors in this series would be DeAndre Ayton and Michael Porter Jr. If Michael Porter Jr. comes up to play, he's going to give Torrey Craig, who's most likely going to be checking him, all that he can handle. If DeAndre Ayton comes to play his A game, which I think is more possible, he's going to give Jokic all he can handle. And I say it's more possible because Chris Paul can now just play a point guard. He could just be the point guard. He could score when he need to, and he could really get everybody in the game. Now you're about to see the ability of Chris Paul, which will probably underratedly be the reason why they win the series. Is the facilitation and of Chris Paul. If Denver wins, it's gonna be because Michael Porter stepped his game up, and Aaron Gordon was very impactful both ways, offense and defense. But I'm definitely looking forward to it. Denver probably is going to protect home court tonight. I definitely kind of expect them to split 1-1. So if Phoenix don't take game one, I give Phoenix to take game two. But I also expect them to split 1-1 in Phoenix as well. So if Denver don't take game three, I kind of give them to take game four. We gonna see though. But this series, when they get to game five, it's gonna be 2-2 for sure, for sure. But I think it's gonna be 1-1. They both gonna win and lose 1-1 at home. That's just my thoughts. Cavs. Kobe Altman. Kobe Altman went for the press conference yesterday. Postseason press. Post. When I say postseason, not playoff postseason, like end of season. And that's probably should have said that. End of season press conference. Just a reflection on the team, and he said some interesting things. To sum it up, because I'm gonna go into some of the specifics he said, but the way I summed it up was one bad or two bad instances don't overshadow 45 good ones to him. And I can't be mad at that logic. Just the history of the Cavs and Cleveland teams and not just sticking to the core and growing it and letting it mature. Hopefully that's a cycle we're breaking. So he said there's not going to be any sweeping changes, meaning there's a good chance none of the core six are going to be traded. And that core six is Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Isaac Okoro, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, and Karis LeVert. That is the core six. That is the team that they're building around. So for all those who upset, who feel some type of way, it's okay. Guess what, y'all? You're going to be all right. Okay? You're going to have to understand that this is how successful teams build. The Warriors was with their squad a couple years before they figure out who their core was, and they just keep building around who their core is. And that's why they can keep sustaining success because they figure out a core and they just build around the core. So my bad, I'm drinking juice. I'm looking at notifications from the NFL draft, which I'm gonna get to in a second. But Kobe Altman, 51 wins stick out to him. What the team had to endure, JB Bickerstaff had to endure getting up to this point. Also, things that people are not putting out there about the series. We're not going to exonerate them for playing soft. All right. But I will not forget the fact that it was a lot of their first time in the playoffs. I cannot excuse JB not playing Lamar Stevens until the final game. I'll never get that. I don't know how to understand that. But to hear that Ricky Rubio, Dean Wade were not fully healthy, that meant something. And in so many ways, I felt like maybe a lot of the vets, the only vet that was healthy was Danny Green. Robin Lopez could have not really been healthy. Raul Neto could have not really been fully healthy. Cleveland teams play it very close to the chest. And they play it very close to the chest because I'm sorry to say this, but the majority, and I literally mean like 80 to 85% of the Cleveland local media is not trustworthy. They're not trustworthy with information. Not only can they not retain or hold information until the right time, they don't know how to tell it like it is. There are very few in the community. Garrett Bush, shout out to Garrett Bush, Quincy Carter, or Carrier, Quincy Carrier, Quincy Carrier, shout out to Quincy. I'm gonna give Adam the Bull a little respect because I feel like he's a little more honest. Um, Nathan Segura, Jim Donovan, I feel like they always honest. And it's a few other people that I probably forgot, so I don't mean no disrespect if I didn't mention your name. It's not that but it's just not coming to me on top of my head. But it's quite a few others as well. But they're not trustworthy. Just bottom line. So Cleveland plays it close to the chest. So you really never know what's going on until you actually hear from, top leadership. I felt like Kobe Altman took ownership and blame for feeling like he didn't get the right pieces enough for JB to feel like he had a deep enough bench to work with. But I also felt like after making a big trade for Donovan Mitchell, that they needed to go through a period of what do we have and how does it really mesh and what do we need to do to make it better. Not all these changes we got to throw around and all that, but how do we make what we already have the best it could possibly be? I talked about JB yesterday, so I ain't gonna go into that. Like I said, if you missed that, please catch us on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Radio Public. Look for the InDaStreetzSportz channel. Subscribe to that, and then you can find the Game Changer Sports Talk Show right up under that as well. But we do have to talk about. So moving forward, it's not about this piece leaving or that piece leaving. Matter of fact, hold on. Jason Lloyd, writer for, I don't even know who he writes for specifically, but he is a media insider. And he said Donovan Mitchell is going to go to New York the first chance he gets. And this is just a part of what I mean about the local media. So you put this narrative out, right? Whether it's true or not. You put this out after a horrible loss from the fan that the fans had to witness by the team, with no consideration of how people are feeling at this moment in time. So you're dropping this information basically to turn the fans against the one proven star that we have. This is why I say y'all not trustworthy. This is why I don't give y'all no information. Deshaun Watson came on Twitter Spaces with a whole nother entity that's not really in there with y'all like that. And he talked to the fans directly versus giving y'all solo interviews. That has to speak volumes about the untrustworthiness of the Cleveland media. You got to do better. You got to do better. You may not like it hearing it from me, but the proof is in the pudding. I bet you if we interview every player on every major sports team in downtown Cleveland and you ask them what they felt about the Cleveland media, I bet you 90% of them would not have nothing good to say. And very few of them would have a lot of good to say. And it would be selective on who got those praises. You got to do better. I've been saying this for a long time. Y'all make people not like the Browns or the Cavs or the Guardians because y'all don't report nothing good about the teams. Y'all like TMZ reporters. Why don't y'all just go work for TMZ and leave those jobs to people who actually do it right? I'm just saying. But let's move on because I don't want to get too far into that. I am interested to see who they bring in to build around that Karras off the bench. Wait, hold on right quick. All right, my fault, y'all. So yeah, we got to start talking about the different pieces that we gonna get. Yeah, what's good, bro?
I want you to speak on this right here. ESPN poll. You see it?
Who is the better GM? Andrew Berry or Kobe Altman? I don't agree with this percentage. I'm just gonna say that off top. For this to be not closer to 50% is embarrassing. And this just kind of reflects why a lot of Cleveland sports fans don't really know a lot about the team because of said disconnect between the Cleveland media, sports media, and the fans. I mean, yeah, and the fans, and the disconnect between the sports media and the actual franchises. In both of their tenures, the Browns went to the second round of the playoffs once 3 seasons ago. Kobe Altman went to the first round of the playoffs this season. So they're even. They literally got hired. No, was they hired the same year? Was it back-to-back years? It might have been back-to-back years because I'm pretty sure Altman came in this 18 year last time we went to the finals. And Barry probably came in 19. Okay. Or it might have been 20. It might have been 20. It was 19, 20 playoffs. So yeah, who the better GM? Let's see. Andrew Berry got Deshaun Watson, Nick Chubb, Cooper. You got the roster on defense. The Cavs have, hold on. Hello? Yeah, so the Cavs have 4 or 5 All-Stars. They have at least 3 players who's been to the All-Star game. The Browns have at least 5 players that's been to the Pro Bowl, maybe 7, maybe 9, actually. I think it's even though. To be honest, I don't really see how you like. Don't get me wrong, Andrew Berry done made some savvy trades, but so has Kobe Altman. I don't care what y'all say. Possession is 9/10 of the law. If you look at the teams that we have and the potential that each team has, how can you really put one over the other? Now, you could say Andrew Berry has more people to deal with as far as managing up under him because football teams are bigger than basketball teams. But I think it's even. I would go 50-50 for sure. That's my take. Where you at, bro? What you think?
Yeah, I'll go about 50-50 too. Because Kobe Altman did his thing, man. I rock with Kobe Altman. And AB doing his thing too.
That's a fact. Yeah, I'm gonna go 50-50. Yeah, I'm 50-50 on that.
I don't agree with the poll. That's too off.
Yeah, that's too off. If they would have did 45-55, I wouldn't even been mad.
Because most of the comments is people saying none of them, nobody. So it's just people just talking.
But that's what I'm saying. That's that disconnect though. Because the local media don't keep the fans informed on the things that actually matter. The fans are left to create their own narratives. And most fans are, fair weather fans. Don't get me wrong, Cleveland got diehard fans. It's just not the fans that all the rest of the other fan bases get a glimpse of. They get a glimpse of all the fair weather fans who always say outrageous stuff that never makes sense, man. DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk, InDaStreetzSportz, streaming on multiple media platforms, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Follow us on IG. Link usually be in the chat for y'all. So, if you want to come up, definitely leave your comments, like, subscribe, share. Let me know how you feel about things. Yeah, it's with so getting back to building around the core six. Because anybody saying Isaac Okoro got to go, I don't even want you as a fellow fan base member no more. I don't need you as a fan mate. You don't know what you're talking about. Karis LeVert did his thing off the bench. You got to get him some running mates. Don't get me wrong. Karis LeVert, Lamar Stevens, and Dean Wade is a nice base rotation. Okay? But Dean Wade and Lamar Stevens, until they actually take that very next step to become consistent role players, which I think Lamar there more than Wade is, even though Wade got the contract. I think Lamar is more than Wade. But I like them both. But the Cavs need three things. They need another facilitator that can run an offense at the point guard. They need another big man that's heavy on rebounding and protecting the paint. All right. I'm talking about a paint beast. That person that just get after it on offense and defensive glass and gets above the rim to alter shots. And they need a big wing that can score off the bench. They need a 6'9", 6'10" dude that can score off that bench to go with Karis. And that's just how I see it. So these are a lot of things they needed last year. I thought Chetty's contract ended this year, but I guess he got a player option for the next year. It's only like $7 million or something. I personally, I'm cool on Chetty. Windler coming back. If Windler gonna stay healthy, I would love to see how he would perform. But Windler, even with Windler, and you know what though, we do got Khalifa Job that might come over next year. We do got the Luke Trevor dude who might come over. So if they're going to spend the money in free agency after getting re-signing Karis, which in my mind, and people not gonna like this, Karis should get at least. I ain't gonna lie, I like when Hope Karis retired, Cav. As a guy from the area who grew up in Ohio, he might not get $100 million, but give him like 585. Give him like 590. Yeah. That's like 18 million a year? Yeah, give him that's the 18 million a year is 90. Give him like 586. Give him like 17 a year. Why not? He is the guy off your bench. He is the producer. And next year he gets a chance to grow into his role even more. All right. And you could literally just build the bench around him. Now, this is something that I wanted him to do with Colin Sexton, was just putting him off the bench and build the bench around what he does. But do it around Karis, because Karis a vet. No. Karis going on his third contract? Karis a vet now. If you ain't a vet by your third contract, I don't know what a veteran is. All right. But I definitely some names. I don't know. I don't know who's all going to be free agents, so we can revisit that at another time. But they need a rebounder. They do got Diakite down there. Actually, this was so crazy. The Cavs got young pieces that they could just bring up. You got Sharif Cooper, who could do exactly what I was asking for. You got Karras. You got Stevens, Wade, Windler, Merrill. You got Isaiah Mobley. You got Diakite. So whoever they bring got to be a veteran. Yeah, whatever they bring got to be a veteran. Hold on. Yeah, it's got to be a veteran. So we'll look over the free agent list and see what veteran big guys that can score. I guess Kevin Love would have been nice, but Kevin Love old. You know what I'm saying? I think the big 6'9", 6'10" person that score off the bench got to be a big wing. Probably got to be a 3-and-D guy. You know, Danny Green. Maybe he comes back. I doubt it. Maybe. Lopez, Neto, gone. Chetty most likely gone. And don't get me wrong, Chetty could be that guy. But we need a more for sure threat. I think about when the Clippers had Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell. We need a big guy that's a big guy scorer that's not like a Montrezl Harrell, but I'm just saying in that role. You know what I'm saying? A guy who can play that 4 or that 3 and can score. You know what I'm saying? Preferably a vet. I can't think of too many vets that's going to be available. Cam Reddish would have been perfect for this role. I'm pretty sure Portland's probably going to extend him. He's not going to be available. But we'll see, man. With that being said, let's turn our attention to the 2023 NFL Draft. All right. And we talked a little bit yesterday about who got what and who got who, but this is a Brown show. This is a Cleveland show. I ain't gonna say Brown. This is a Cleveland show. We talk about things Cleveland first. So Cleveland did not have a pick on the very first day of the draft, which was Thursday. They didn't have a pick until the second round, the last round in the second day of the draft. And on this day, they have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 picks. All right. A lot of us came into the draft thinking the Browns were not going to draft 8 players. But it seems that they are. So far, they have receiver Cedric Tillman from Tennessee, defensive tackle Siaki Ika from Baylor, offensive tackle DeJuan Jones from the Ohio State Buckeyes, defensive end Isaiah McGuire from Missouri, all-time leading passer in UCLA history, QB Dorian Thompson-Robinson, cornerback Cameron Mitchell from Northwestern. These are the picks they've took so far. So, Cedric Tillman, 74th selection. Those who may not be informed or may have forgotten, the Browns started off with the 42nd pick in this draft. They turned that pick into Elijah Moore and the 74th pick in this same draft, which ended up becoming Cedric Tillman. So, virtually, they turned A team that lacks speed at the wide receiver position, reliable speed and production, turned the 42 pick into arguably a first round receiver from a couple years ago, and a guy who probably would have went higher as a receiver if he wasn't injured. Um, both burners. I like that. Uh, you know, Elijah Moore is more like 5'11", 6 feet. Cedric Tillman's like 6'2", 6'3". So that's a lot. And I like how he's added to that room. You have a few burners down there with Moore and Tillman and Goodwin. You got your, you know, savvy feet guys with, Moore's part of that savvy feet guy bunch. But I'm just speaking on Bell and Cooper. And then you got DPJ. You know what I'm saying? Your catching traffic guy. So we gonna see how that mesh. And they still got other guys down there, Grant, Darden, Marquez Stevenson, Dalen Baldwin, Isaiah Weston, who's coming back from injury. So we gonna see how that room shape out. But it's definitely heavy competition in that room. And a lot of people want to know if they're gonna go with more than 6 receivers coming starting the season. We gonna find out. Defensive tackle room. Siaki Ika, who's the friend and close friend of Sione Takitaki, who's already on the Browns. Both are Samoan. Both grew up in Utah. Siaki Ika is 6'2", 6'3", 335 pounds. He is a massive man. He is a earth mover. And even when you put two guys on him, that's not going to stop him from being able to impact the play. I like this pick a lot. This was a great pick. For what we needed, for who we acquired in the off season with Obo at defensive end opposite Miles and Tomlinson as a DT 1 or 2 or 3 technique, or however that's gonna work. You get a guy that's a quality one technique or nose tackle, I would say. I ain't gonna even get into number techniques, but he's definitely a nose tackle. Run stopper, guy who's going to soak up blocks. He comes with that same motor in the NFL, working out with guys like Myles Garrett and those guys. Uh, he's going to help a lot. You got Perrion Winfrey down there, Jordan Elliott, Tommy Togiai from a few years ago. You brought in Tristan Hill and Maurice Hurst to compete. Al Woods, the veteran, is probably going to come on after the June 10th cut line and be there for OTAs and things like that, unless some drastic change. So that DT room is shaping out pretty nice. Then it's DeJuan Jones, right tackle out of Ohio State. His tackle mate, Paris Johnson, went in the first round to Arizona at number 6. This guy has a wingspan the same as Joel Embiid. 6'6", to like 320 pounds, and can move. He's more of a run blocker than a pass blocker, but we have Bill Callahan as our lineman coach, our offensive lineman coach, who's one of the best ever at it. So I think he's going to be good. And our backup tackle issue should be cool. Hudson, we got a few seasons ago. Bill and Callahan has improved every year so far. I expect DeJuan to do the same. And, you think about what this means for Jedrick Wills, right? A guy who next week they have to decide, or somewhere in the next few days, they got to decide whether they're going to pick up his 5th-year option. I expect them to. I don't know when they go to talk re-signing, will they try to re-sign him as a guard? They brought Ethan Poaches back. You got a couple years for guys to develop, but that's interesting to see how that unfolds. Isaiah McGuire, defensive end, 6'2", 270 pounds, can move. He looks a lot bigger than 6'2" on the field. He can move. He can come off the edge. He can stand up. They say he plays better with his hand in the ground. Um, very much an impact guy. But he goes into that rotation with Miles and Obo and Isaiah Thomas and Alex Wright. We're going to see how that goes. But I do like Isaiah. I think he has potential to make some noise. He's definitely going to get every opportunity to get some playing time. And from the looks of right now, he just might do it. Now, a lot of people didn't like the offensive tackle pick as far as Cleveland fan base, forgetting that you have to have replacements in depth on that offensive line. Jack Conklin had been out with injury. Jedrick Wells had been out with injury. Like, you got to have backups there. Antonio is getting older. Wyatt Teller is about to be entering his 30s. Got to have depth on that offensive line. I like the pick. That was a steal. To get him at 111 was a steal. He was easily one of the top 100 best players. Steal. Siaki Ika, easily one of the top 70 best players. Got him at 98. Cedric Tillman, easily one of the top 60 players. You got him at 74. Great value. Isaiah McGuire, easily a top 110 player. You got him at 126. This next pick is a pick that I like because it makes sense. Dorian Thompson-Robinson, the all-time leading passer in UCLA history, has some mobility to him. It's like 21 years old, 22 about to be. Instead of the Browns keep running around trying to figure out who's going to be their backup quarterback of the future, why don't they just develop Dorian Thompson-Robinson over the next 4 or 5 years? And then whatever happens with Deshaun Watson, you have a guy already in the wing. If he developed faster and seems like he wants to earn some playing time and Deshaun Watson is still in his prime doing his thing, then you have trade bait. And you could trade him off and get some things back. Win-win for the Browns. Josh Dobbs is the number 2 right now. I don't expect too much change. Kelly Mound is the other quarterback on the roster, but Dorian Finney-Smith is literally going to take that role. I mean, I said Dorian Finney-Smith. Thinking basketball. Dorian Thompson-Robinson is going to take. He's definitely going to take up that role for sure. Cameron Mitchell, cornerback, Northwestern, took over for Greg Newsome when Greg Newsome got drafted by the Browns in the first round a few years ago. Now he gets to come with the guy that he basically had to fill a role for and become his teammate. Alma Mater alum. So I think that's good. He's probably going to be the slot cornerback that we need. It's a cornerback room that has Denzel Ward, the Warden, Greg Newsome, Martin Emerson, second-year guy who came on last year in his rookie season. AJ Green, undrafted guy that's been with the team for the last 4 or 5 seasons. Thomas Graham Jr. is a guy that they got from Chicago off waivers middle of last year or the year before. I think it was this past season, like week 3, something like that. And Michael Ford. Now you put Mitchell in there. And I guess Mitchell and Graham would be more fighting for the slot nickel back spots. But so far, and now the Cavs, the Browns still have picks at 190, 13 pick in the 6th round, and 229, 12 pick in the 7th round. I think the Browns had a nice draft so far. In my opinion, I would definitely give them a B at least. Adding depth, add more weapons, steals, filling a major need on that defensive tackle room. I do feel like we could bring in another linebacker, but we're going to see how that go. Is that Pat Fitzgerald? Oh no, is that Newsom and Mitchell?
Yeah, that's Newsom and his boy.
Okay then. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? That chemistry. Yeah, that's Newsom and Mitchell. Look, it's going. So I like the direction that things going in for these Browns so far.
We done, ain't we?
Huh?
I said we done, ain't we?
No, we still got 2 more picks. We got what pick at 190 and a pick at 229.
Yeah, we got a 7th rounder, right?
Yeah, 6 and a 7.
6
So
and
it's
7.
interesting to see
That's
who
all
they gonna
today,
pick.
though. That's all today, right?
Huh?
I say, that's today still, right?
Yeah, they already in the middle of the 5th round. This gonna be over at like 4. What time is it? Yeah, it's gonna be over at like 4:35, 5 at the latest.
Let's see if we can get some steals.
So guys that are still on the board that people definitely are trying to see. Who's still on the board? Hold on. Where did I share this at? Hold on. I'm gonna bring my homies up in here one time. I don't think they synced it. Oh yeah, she is already all over it. Book up. Let me. Now, some of my cats, some of my Browns homies, they want to see Jamie Robinson from Florida State, who's probably still no, actually, Jamie's gone. He got drafted by the Panthers at 145. And some people wonder why the Browns took Mitchell and Dorian versus taking Jamie. And I just think, the safety room right now is set. They probably gonna bring in guys that's gonna compete for that 4th safety slot. Maybe because of the corners we got, maybe one of them might slide into that 4th safety slot just to keep the core guys on the roster, on game day roster. It's gonna be interesting to see what Schwartz does, but he was very ecstatic about getting Siaki Ika, so I think that's a very, very good sign. So what the Browns, it's all about value, right? So right now they in pick. What pick we at? 173, which is 17 slots before the Browns pick again. If we go down 17 players, you start at cornerback Corey Trice. You got receiver AJ Perry, center Luke Weipel, offensive tackle Jalen Duncan, receiver Antoine Green, defensive end Moro Ajoma. I'm not gonna lie. If he on the clock at 190, the Browns should probably get him. I think he would be his steal back there. You got Parker Washington is another guy I like. In my opinion, if they're going to move on from Demetric Felton, which I don't like the idea of, then get Parker Washington. Get Parker Washington. But I like Demetric, and I feel like Demetric ain't had a chance to sign, and he should get some. 17 players down. You get to Elijah Higgins, who is a receiver from Stanford. But the Browns haven't addressed linebacker. So I would honestly be encouraged if they drafted 2 linebackers. The first one that comes up is Lonnie Phillips, 6'2", 244 out of Kansas. Say Phelps is a smaller edge prospect with short arms who chases with great effort and has the potential to develop into a core special teams player. He has upper body strength to stack and shed tight ends as well as active hands, and he's at his best crossing the offensive tackle's face, rushing the passer. Phelps is had a good week at the Senior Bowl. All right. I mean, we definitely need good special teams guys, so that sounds pretty nice. I ain't gonna lie. But let me see who else out here. At 29 down is prospect D. Winters, linebacker. 5'11", 227. Winters is a raging run defender who closes well on a straight line. He's light with his arms, but he has the burst to shoot gaps and the explosive power to stun lead blockers in the hole when he plays downhill between the tackles. Winters reads the quarterback and diagnoses routes and flashes the ability to pluck the ball out of the air and underneath coverage. He also runs well to compete with backs and tight ends in coverage. So the fact that he's 5'11", 227 is really what hurt his draft stock. Probably not the most elite athlete, but a receiver that's down here, Kayshawn Boat. Boat is a fluid and sudden route runner who consistently generates separation. He quickly transitions upfield and shows great open field vision and excels after the catch. His 11% career drop rate is concerning, but he has flash, strong hands, and good focus in traffic. Bout's an effective gunner on the special teams. I mean, don't get me wrong. When you get down to the 5th, 6th, and 7th round, you're definitely looking at special teams type players. I like to get special teams guys that could, if I have to get down and I might have to give them some playing time, they can at least have something good that they do that I can utilize. Another outside linebacker, Thomas Nkoum, 6'2", 262 out of Central Michigan. Nkoum, now I'm reading these stats and these breakdowns straight from ESPN, and they draft things. So I don't want y'all to think that this is my saying of the players. This is what they're saying of the players. And if I haven't seen the players' footage after I see this, I usually go look at their footage to see how much of what is descriptive about them is verified with the tape. But Thomas Nkoum, 6'2", 262 out of Central Michigan. Nkoum is a strong edge setter who shoots his hands, locates the ball, and gets off blocks when teams run at him. He chases with excellent effort, and he shows active hands and enough foot speed to redirect inside after setting offensive tackles up to the outside, rushing the passer. There's good upside in this game as an interior pass rusher. So, a guy like this, I will make a linebacker. Actually, even though he ranked the 32nd prospect in the draft, I probably would take him at 190. I like his size. We had to look at his combine numbers to see what his speed and stuff was like. You got safety Jason Taylor, the second down here. Taylor's 6 foot 204 from Oklahoma State. Taylor is a playmaker who tracks and plucks the ball out of the air like a receiver. He's at his best providing help over the top and breaking on passes thrown in front of him as a run defender. Taylor flashes good stopping power, but his angles are a little inconsistent and he sometimes comes in too high. That sounds like a safety that the Browns might draft. And those are the two positions that they need to address, though, linebacker and safety. So them sound like two really good prospects right there. You got outside. Now, this is another guy people have been talking about, and I wouldn't be mad if the Browns took a flyer on him. It's a good chance he could go undrafted, but I don't know. He has a lot of potential. 6'7", 256 from Army, Andre Carter II. Carter is at his best when attacking the chest of offensive tackles, slipping the block with active hands and working through the inside and outside shoulders, rushing the passer. He's a disruptive run stopper who flashes the ability to slip blocks and shoot gaps. He can stack and shed tight ends. If he's athletic enough to be an outside linebacker, that would be crazy. But I would get him in here, even if it's just on the special teams, and develop him as an outside pass rusher at 6'7". At some point, you have to start developing guys for life after um, um, Myles Garrett, because the way this Cleveland media act, boy, you never know. All right. But the draft been good so far. I think the Lions that had a good draft. I think the Panthers and the Houston Texans are doing well. I think the Colts are doing well. I don't know about the Titans. I'm shaky on them. The Jaguars doing pretty good. The Bears are doing really good in the draft. And these are just teams who rebuilding, retooling. Probably gonna be bad for a season or two per se. Um, but yeah, man, DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk, Industry Sports, man. Streaming on multiple media platforms: Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Um, Follow us on IG at Industry Sports or DeeTrynt. If you missed this live recording, please follow, subscribe, share. You catch it on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Radio Public. Look for the Industry Sports channel, then subscribe to that, and you'll find the Game Changer Sports Talk Show right up under that as well. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. It's been a pleasure running with y'all right now, man. I just wanted to get up here and go over a little bit thing of the sports today. Make sure y'all check the game out today. Congrats to everybody fan bases who felt like they did good in the NFL draft. I look forward to a very competitive season. And right after the draft, we get tomorrow, right after today, and tomorrow you'll get the undrafted guys. So you'll see guys who you probably thought favorite college guys you thought was getting drafted that didn't. People probably gonna swoop them up. And then basically the whole month of May is the third wave of free agency. All up until the end of June, because then you got the June cuts, where cats get that money back, and then right after the draft, you see the shuffling. So it's about to get interesting in the NFL, NBA getting deeper in the playoffs, NHL doing well in the playoffs. I ain't a big NHL guy, but I'm gonna start bringing some of that news too, man, because I like the playoffs for sure. Guardians, baseball, I'm gonna start doing a little more of that too. But man, it's been a pleasure, y'all. Please be easy. Like, subscribe, share. One, man.